Welcome in, Stalkers. As we all know, the zone is filled with vile, dirty creatures, and I'm not talking about the bandits from Garbage, I'm talking about the mutants, of course. In this guide, we'll break down everything we need to know about these mutants, what they are, how to survive them, and the best ways to turn the hunter into the hunted. Let's dive in. Starting with the weakest, smallest, stinkiest mutant in the zone, the Rodent. Somehow being the weakest mutant in the zone, it wasted the most of my bullets. The hitboxes and movement on these guys is just godlike. The mutant embodiment of aim labs in Stalker 2, you can't really die to these guys unless you're really reckless or playing drunk. So the best tip I can give you is use a weak gun against them, like the skiff pistol, it's always there. Because these guys average about 1 mutant per mag on auto guns because you just can't hit these guys. Next up we have the blind dog, one of the weakest mutants in the zone. But don't get fooled, this is one of the fastest mutants out there and it never roams alone. And somehow being blind, he can find you from across the zone with his pals, and before you know it, a pack of dogs is munching on your ass. So let's talk about the tactics and how dogs operate. Every time you get attacked by a pack of blind dogs, you should be very careful and not stand in one place. Because the way the pack operates is that some rush straight on and some flank you from the sides to bite your ass. So the most important thing is to kite the dogs. You always have to run back from them. That way the flankers never truly flank you. You don't get surrounded by dogs. And when the flanking dogs do not succeed in their flank, they become rushing dogs and they just run at you at a straight line and you can pick them off one by one. But it's important to always run away from them. They're very fast, but you can still manage to sprint away, create a distance, reload if necessary, and kill the ones that are running at you at a straight line.
The fact that this ham monolith exists proves that God is either impotent to alter his universe or ignorant of the horrors taking place in his kingdom.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to believe that this was once a household pig. You know, the dog just got blind. What happened to the pig? Why does it look like this? Okay, so the flesh is weak, is big, it's slow, and the only engager it has, it's leaping on your face like this. It's really not a threat. Just shoot it. It's slow. If you create enough distance, it won't even reach you in time. There's not much to say about it. It doesn't flank. It doesn't do anything special. It just goes at you, and if it's close enough, it's gonna jump. Just shoot it. I don't know. Just shoot it. Shoot the thing. Shoot that thing. Next up, we have the burning boar of death. I'm kidding. It's a regular boar. We're just gonna go over the regular boar. Unlike its household pig counterpart, the boar didn't get many alterations to how it looks. This creature is basically the flesh but on steroids, and he got the constant roid rage and more than 2 brain cells. These guys usually roam in big packs, which makes them kinda dangerous. They can knock you back. If you get knocked back by one and then the rest start hitting you, you're probably not getting up. Also, they have flank tactics, where they try to flank you. Overall, they're not as fast as the dogs, but they are faster than the flashes. You just want to run away, shoot, run away, shoot. It's that simple. Just don't get too close to them, because if they knock you down, it's probably all over if you're playing on the harder difficulties. Next up, we have the cutest of boys. Look at this cutie. Don't you want to take it home and ask your mom to keep him? Talking about the PsyDog. This mutant got the table of multiplication on lockdown. He's gonna multiply right in front of your eyes, so you will never feel alone again. Now, the most difficult thing about this dog is knowing which one is the real one and which one is a clone. Of course, you can shoot all of them, but by the time you kill all the clones, he's gonna multiply again. So you either shoot him while he roars, because once he is finished multiplying, he's already a clone, and you'll have to find them. The best tactic of finding him is actually not shooting the guys that run to you, but the guys that are running away. The PsyDog have a tendency to let the clones do the work for him while he roams in the back. So it's a good idea to look who's running away from you or running around and not directly at you, and one of those will probably be the right one. The next creature was born in hell itself. I dare not call it a creature, it is a hell spawn. Some of you can call it a cat, I'll just call it a piece of shit. So this piece of shit is one of the most annoying and also tough mutants in the zone. The evasive maneuvers on this bitch and how fast he jumps at you is just unreal. The piece of shit is so fast and dodges every bullet you do, and before you know it, it lunges at you with the speed of light to gouge your eyes out. That's not enough, these guys also have psi abilities. They scream to make you go sleepy and teleport somewhere else. Some of them can multiply and they can make you hear voices during the entire encounter, coming from random places. The only tip I can give you for this is just run, heal, and pray and shoot. Run, heal, pray, and shoot. Nothing more I can add. If you ever meet more than one, and there are some encounters like that, good luck everybody. I hope your armor is good and your bullets are plenty. Ah yes, the Snork, a classic. An ex-military man gone feral, walking on all fours, not even talking anymore, just making growling noises. It's not your average homeless person on bath salts. It's a mutant. Snorks usually dwell underground, they don't really love the sunshine, but you can see them outside. Sometimes they're taking a pretty walk, sometimes they're going for a hunt, but they mostly encountered underground. Now 1 Snork, easy peasy. 2 Snorks, breezy peasy. 3 Snorks, barely broke a sweat. Now 7, 8 Snorks, you're in a world of hurt. These guys, they're everywhere. These guys are jumping, rolling, they're doing all the things. You're gonna run out of bullets, half of which you're gonna shoot in obscure directions without hitting anything. And you might hear some people telling you, hey, use a shotgun and just shoot them when they're jumping on your face. Unfortunately, 9 times out of 10, the shotgun won't kill them when they're jumping on you. And then you're taking damage, and then there's like 8 more jumping on you. My tip is, first of all, if you can't fight them, inside their burrows. The less space to move makes them a lot easier to handle, and if you already somehow managed to fight a big stack of Snorks outside, try to avoid getting jumped on. Don't try to shoot them mid-air because they will land on your face and will survive. Try to dodge their leap attack and then shoot them when they land next to you. Also remember that Snorks have a weak spot on their head just like humans. Because there were humans before. Next up we got the Bloodsucker, a legendary mutant across all games. He goes invisible and then he attacks you with his tentacle hentai porn face. And then, like the name implies, he sucks your blood. The origins and how they reproduce in the zone is still a mystery to this day. Now I'm gonna teach you some tactics against the Bloodsucker so you don't end up like these guys. Now the AI mechanic of the Bloodsucker is pretty simple. He goes invisible, he makes a circle around you, and he attacks you from behind. What defined as behind is the place where you looked at when he started doing the circle. Another good thing to know, if you just strafe left on your keyboard, he will miss you like 95% of the time. It seems like he attacks your right side more than your left side, and if you strafe left, he just utterly misses you every single time. So now that you know you're expecting a rear attack, you know where to look, and you know you strafe left, Bloodsuckers have never been easier. You just wait for them to attack, they miss you, and you spam them with bullets. Rinse, repeat, you will never get hit. Next up we got the Poltergeist, your friendly neighborhood ghost. The origins of this telekinetic menace is still unknown to this day. The Poltergeist is not the bravest of mutants, but it is one of the meanest ones out there. Just give him the opportunity and he will throw more household items at you than your ex-wife ever did, while screaming she wants a divorce. And like all ex-wives, he comes in a bunch of varieties. The fiery Pyrogeist, the toxic Gasgeist, and the zappy Electrogeist. Each with their own unique powers. For example, Pyrogeist can make pillars of flame appear beneath you. Gasgeist can make toxic fart clouds appear out of thin air, while the Electrogeist can create electro anomalies which explode over time. Poltergeist is a unique enemy because it doesn't need a line of sight in order to hurt you. He can hide wherever he wants, and as long as you're in the presence, he's gonna keep throwing stuff at you and create anomalies at your feet while hiding. So the best thing you can actually do is rush the Poltergeist as fast as you can and gun it down. It doesn't really have any physical abilities to protect itself once you're next to it. It can fly through you and do some damage, but it's not a lot. So the moment you hear the objects flying next to you, rush to find that Poltergeist and mow it down with bullets. Next up we got the Burer. But don't get confused folks, this guy ain't your regular incel Reddit moderator, but the result of Secret Service genetic experiments on criminals under the program of human telekinesis development. A very powerful mutant available to make itself immune to damage by shielding itself, ripping away your gun while throwing objects at you and making your gun shoot you, which is just offending at this point. This guy is a force to be reckoned with. Luckily, due to the excessive time they spend on Reddit, the Burers are very slow. And the best tactic to deal with the Burer is to engage him, you shoot, he puts his shield up, then you run away behind cover where he can't have a line of sight on you, at which point he will start slowly walking in your direction. And the moment you hear the shield is down, you go out of cover and you burst him down and rinse repeat. All you have to do is act fast. The moment you shoot him, he will put his shield up and you have to run away because the next thing he's gonna do is pull your gun out or throw a bucket in your face. And those things he cannot do if he doesn't see you. A good thing to mention is that the Burers do not like sunlight and you will never find them roaming outside in the open, but mostly hiding indoors. Moving over to the controller. Another Secret Service experiment gone wild, but not the good wild like the girls gone wild on the spring break, and more like fry your brain kinda wild and turn you into a zombie kinda wild. Possessing immense psionic abilities and even a greater dad bod, the controller strikes fear even in the heart of the most experienced stalkers. I mean, look at that dad bod, look at that beer gut. And now, although the controller is limited only to a melee attack with his claws and the psychic bolt he shoots you whenever he sees you, he's the only mutant that can actually make you die without even lifting a finger. And that's because every controller has a small psi field around them that does psi damage to anything inside of it, including you, and slowly frying your brain. Now in the next clip I will show you the effects of staying in a psi field of controller and the side effects you get from getting psi fried straight in your brain. At first it's only gonna be audio cues. There's gonna be the psi damage music, then you'll hear some screams, some noises, and you start to hear whispers and all that kind of haunting shit. The next stage is hallucinations of hostile NPC appearing and shooting you. And then when you try to loot them, they disappear. The stage after that, you get a grainy gray screen, which is followed by psi ghosts appearing and running to your direction and dealing damage on contact. And on the final stage, after getting enough psi damage from the controller's field, you start taking damage over time. And the only way to negate this effect, it's not killing the controller, it's actually taking psi blockers. Okay, now that you know what the field does, what can the controller do? Well, first of all, of course you can resurrect the dead and make them zombies. Also, a good thing to know is that the controller can one-shot an AI to turn him into a zombie immediately. Good thing we are the main character, huh? In general, once you take your psi blocks, the controller is fairly easy to manage. The guy is slow, he can only attack you with the psionic ball if he sees you, and all you have to do is hide from him, peek, shoot, hide, peek, shoot, and that's about it, and he's down. Still a very cool mutant and a very fun enemy to fight, especially if there's a lot of zombies around and you're out of C block. That's just fun. Next up we got the Pseudogiant, and although striking a crazy resemblance to your mother-in-law, it's probably not her, but just a mix of human with a bunch of animals that created this giant mutant obelisk, carrying itself on its arm legs or leg arms and weighing up to 2 tons. This mutant is somehow one of the fastest mutants out there. The Pseudogiant move list goes as follows: a charge attack, a regular melee hit, and the slam shockwave, which knocks you down. Okay, let's talk tactics. Don't try to outrun the Pseudogiant. He's faster than you. And remember that you cannot reload while sprinting, and you will be firing bullets a lot. Use the size of the Pseudogiant against it, while maneuvering through tight spaces where he cannot go through and making him go around, basically kiting him while you can shoot. It's important to know that the shockwave attack cannot be stopped by cover. So even if you're behind cover and he does the shockwave, you will still get knocked down. So do plan ahead, stand up and heal as fast as possible and continue kiting. And please do not be overweight. I cannot stress enough how your speed is important for fighting a Pseudogiant. These guys are fast. And at the top of the food chain we have the Chimera. It's the cutest kitty down the block until it lacerates her. Though physically weaker than the Pseudogiant, the Chimera is considered deadlier due to its extremely fast speed and aggressiveness. Close to the size of an adult lion and a double set of organs which makes it extremely tanky, this thing is coming for your butthole. Thinking of hiding high up? Think again. Thinking of hiding low? Think again. The mobility on this creature is insane. It will find you. It will take an Uber to your house and will destroy you. Do not engage in close combat with the Chimera. It's always better to start the engagement from far away and deal damage before it's near you. The most important attack you want to dodge is their leaping pounce. Just like with the Bloodsuckers, somehow strafing left actually works and helps you in avoiding getting leaped on. Coming out of a fight with a Chimera unscathed is usually something that's not gonna happen. But if you get knocked down, it's usually over. So strafe left when it's missing its pounce, just shred it when it's next to you. Actually going in a circular motion around it seems to help a lot with not getting hit. But at the end, you just have to pray to God. And that is it for the Mutant Guide, everybody. I hope you learned something new. I hope I made you laugh. And I hope to see you on my next video, everybody. Now, before I leave you with this Pseudogiant Chimera fight, so we can once and for all know who's the strongest, I want to hear you guys down in the comments. I want to know which tips did I miss. Maybe there's something I don't know. I don't hold all the knowledge. So type down below if there's more tips for mutants, or just share your opinions on mutants. Maybe we feel the same. Who knows? Also, don't forget to like and subscribe. It really helps me a lot. And share with your friends. Send it to your grandma. I know she's a big Stalker 2 fan and she will want to know this information. And also tell her to hit me up. I have a grandma thing. Well, anyways, enjoy the fight. See you around.